Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the stock market update video where we update you guys on QQQ, Sp500, as well as Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Meta. So, all right, let's get started. So tomorrow, before we get started, tomorrow we have S1MC meetings. It's currently priced in a 90% of a rate hold. So yeah, just don't listen to all the dramas. Another rate hike at the moment. We don't have that yet. Should just let me pull it up real quick for you guys. Give me a second. So it's going to be, 99%. So 99% of a rate hold tomorrow. And for the rest of the year, we're going to have a rate hold. Oh, wow. This June was a rate cut. Now it's a rate hold by like 1%. So this could easily just shift back. So, but that's next year in June. So we don't have to worry about that at this moment. So pretty much we have a rate hold for the rest of the year because we had this in the 40s back before we got our growth data. But currently it's back to the 30s. So chances of us getting a rate hike is not much anymore. So we'll see if CPI ends up coming in aligned with data in November and December. Also, we're going to get one in October as well, obviously, but we'll see. Yeah, so he'll be talking, I think, what was it, 11? 11 was going to be the release of the rate hold or hike decision. 11:30 is going to be his speech and Q&A. So that's going to be the one everyone's going to be watching because we already know it's going to be a rate hold. So no surprises there other than the speech. We'll see if it's going to be more hawkish or bearish. I don't know if it's going to be more hawkish or not. It's probably going to be the same like last time because it's what else he's going to say, right? He's been talking about this for the last couple of months, and there's just not much going on anymore because inflation is not at 8% anymore, right? We're currently at 3.6. So it's not like he has to be super hawkish. So yeah, well, we'll see. Other than that, pretty much we hit this uptrending maroon looking support, confluencing with this 367 at the same time. 367 is a decent resistance and support zone in these areas. So when we do come down to it, as well as at the same time confluencing with an uptrending support, and at the same time we have dropped 3% from top to bottom, so without any bounces. Very likely we get a bounce from there. Temporary one doesn't mean we're going to go V-shape all the way here back up, but a temporary bounce on its way is most likely scenario, especially after this kind of an action. Straight drop sideways and another hard flush, especially as if it goes faster, the faster it goes. After you run towards a support zone, meaning all the bears are tired out after you get here, right? So they all have to cover, and bulls buys at support. So that's why you usually get a V shape in certain areas. Versus back here, you can see that the price action was not as strong for the bulls. And for here, once we hit the key support, may now bounce higher. But I want to see an hourly uptrend back to the bulls' favor before I can be more confident saying this was the bottom. This is just a nice bounce, big bounce, and I want to see a pivot being set and break above the prior high. I need to confidently say, here we go, head back up here at the moment. Obviously, we got to break this sideways zone here as well. Break above 371. If we can't even break above 371, this may just be a potential inverse head and shoulders. That's how you come up here, bounce, reject, set that pivot, break above the neckline. That's a uptrend confirm, the hourly uptrend confirm, and also a break above of the inverse head and shoulders. Psychology of the inverse head and shoulders is just a downtrend into a uptrend, and because of that head, that gives a lot of space for the bulls to form that pivot to set, because it's a big bounce, right? So now you give bulls room even on the pullbacks that they can set higher pivots. Uptrend confirm. That's what I want to see for the hourly trend, and we'll see if they pull it off. And if we do pull it off, then I'm looking back up at this 375 zone. Also test if we can break that 371 Of course, this 373 is going to be also a strong resistance as well because of that was this August 24 high. We'll see a couple of resistance above us. And yeah, I'll be tuning in on the FOMC and I'll update you guys tomorrow after the FOMC meeting. If there's anything he says that was out of the ordinary, I'll let you guys know. Similar price action. Bounce off of support. Tightening range still forming. May tighten up into end of the month and get a break out of that very soon, actually. See, bounce off of it, bounce off of it, bounce off of it. Bounce off of it down here, another 3 times. Still holding. At one point, it's going to break because these resistance. Yeah, very soon. Hourly chart, same thing. And inverse head and shoulders. I want to see more follow through come up to this 445. Slight rejection, and then bulls by the dip and to break above that to confident, saying there's a strong support zone that the bulls want to hold, and it's the bottom of the bounce. Let's see here. Right. So let's take a look at the 15 minutes. Yeah, pretty much after that drop, you can see we broke below the sideways range. And then there's no more bears. You can see when there's no more bears follow through after breaking the sideways range, bulls just completely took over. Indication that no more bears wanted to take it slower around this area. Yep. All right, let's take a look at Tesla. Okay, holding on decently today after a relative weakness yesterday. Still daily uptrend still intact, so no signs of red flags. Pivot, uptrend, pivot, uptrend still intact. New pivot being set and bounce off of 12 EMA as well as held this 263 level. And then we'll see if we can come back up to test 275. Early chart. Yep, you can see it's much stronger than the overall market QQQ. You can see during the morning, it dropped a lot less, and then we pretty much bounced almost all of its drop. And while QQQ close to bouncing off a drop, let's take a look. Yeah, just a little bit under it, but Tesla bounced a lot more. Big enough bounce now, so I'm going to see the hourly trend change back to bull's favor for us to more confidently say 263 is the bottom of this consolidation on the daily chart. Yeah, so once we confirm the hourly trend change back to uptrend, then we could say this is the bottom of this daily consolidation of the uptrend. Doesn't mean we're just going to shoot all the way up here, but that would just mean that we'll probably bounce more. And if the bears are serious about taking this down, we'll form a daily downtrend, and we'll know. At the moment, no signs of that yet, so we'll see when it comes. All right, Nvidia, let's see here. Inside bar today. So after this strong 4% bounce yesterday, from the bottom to the top was a 4% bounce. After hitting 420, very clear support zone. Everybody was looking at that support zone at the 420. Is this uptrending looking line support? All this down here, you can see all that down here, even down here as well. Finally tested it, bounced 4% yesterday from that, and today's just taking a little chill after a big bounce. So it still formed a higher pivot. So you can see this low set right there, right? Now this low is above this low. So that is a good sign, but bulls are not out of the woods yet because bulls need to break above this double top, this 442, to confirm an hourly uptrend back to their favor. And then we can more confidently say 420 was the bottom of this bounce, of this drop. So yeah, so the only good sign today is bulls held a higher low, meaning higher than this prior low. So that's a good sign. But I want to see bulls play offense, not just defense. So give it a little bit, cut a little bit of slack today because QQQ was slightly red too in the morning and bounce as well in the afternoon. So let's just see tomorrow if this will up into break 442 and confirm the hourly uptrend. All right, let's take a look at Apple here. Okay, so Apple pretty much carried the market today. You guys know what we were talking about, this big picture equilibrium, just very clear. Resistance, support, and just trading within it. So tightening range, big move, smaller, smaller, get smaller, can chop around for a bit, probably into October. And it's just doing its thing because we just hit the bottom of the range 1, 2, 3, 4 times here, right? So the bears can't take it down lower than this bottom range 4 times. We tried it while market was, I think it was red a couple of days down here and still couldn't take it down. Then the most least resistant path of resistance is to have its way back closer to the center of this tightening equilibrium range. So with the maroon looking lines, it doesn't mean once it touches one side, it's just going to go all the way to the other side like that, straight up, right? It just so happens this ended up being like that, especially when the first 2 moves are big, straight up and straight downs. And you can more likely say it's going to be an equilibrium tightening up into tightening up. Later on moves usually are more choppy. So yeah, doesn't mean we're going to go shoot all the way straight up, but the most likely scenario from here, after we bounce here, we come to the medium of the range of the 2. So between here and here, medium is around this level. So pretty much we're close to that level already. So yeah, the most likely scenario, bouncing here, coming into the medium, and then we'll decide how the market trades from there. It could come up, form a pivot. This is what I want to see next. Form a pivot on the daily chart because this is just a straight move up. No pivot being set yet. Still on a daily down. We're still on a daily downtrend. Yeah, we're still in a daily downtrend because we need to break above 180.3 this high to negate it into a neutral trend. So if that happens, it becomes a neutral, and then we want to see a pivot being set to form a daily uptrend. It's the next step for the bulls to pull off daily uptrend for Apple because it has already formed enough room for that 3.3%. So yeah, Amazon looks like relative weakness today. Broke its pivot supports. Let's see, did it break pivot supports? One straight move. Its pivot support is down here, but this drop is like way big enough where now get a bounce. Bears may be looking for that daily lower high, meaning this high is lower than this prior high to form that daily downtrend. May potentially shove out head and shoulders too. We pretty much gave back a ton of room, that bounce. So if we bounce and then we reject from this 140, it's gonna be head and shoulders forming. So we'll see if we get that or not. Yeah. Let's take a look on the hourly. See if more clues. Huge drop in the morning. Pretty much was a lead bear this morning. QQQ bounce, pretty much 70% of its move. So bounce all the way here. Amazon only bounced close to like 40% of its drop. So relative weakness for sure. So if Amazon does not step up tomorrow, hourly trend, downtrend, it's going to be our guide. Hourly downtrend still intact. Not a bear flag anymore. Let's take a look. Very close. Let's see. Actually, it's we negated it. Yeah, we pretty much bounced the 50% mark above 0.382. So we bounce 50% of the retrace. So the next drop should favor the bulls for a hourly uptrend. If they can't do that, that's a red flag, and it will head lower to that potentially head and shoulders pattern forming up on the daily. Just go a little bit lower. Psychology, if it's an uptrend into a downtrend, head and shoulders. So we'll see if that Amazon bulls can pick it up or not. All right, Google. Not much to report really. Complete sideways. You guys know how I talk about every time it makes a new move up, it goes sideways in its zone, just like down here. Move up, sideways, all the way back, pretty much everywhere. Every time it moves up to a new zone, so pretty much consolidating at its high of its range. So that's a good sign for the bulls. If it's consolidating down here, that's a bad sign, right? So if it was going sideways at the top of the 52-week high range, and that's a good sign for the bulls that they may be in striking distance to make a new 52-week high. Yeah, nothing to worry about on Google. Microsoft, let's see. Okay, so Microsoft tested marine looking line as well. Bottom. This is more so a visual guide for me. Bottom here. And we bounced. So probably just going to tighten up as well into end of the month. The resistance line. Although this is a big enough drop that this may form a daily downtrend if we don't bounce and hate that bear flag. Apparently not in a bear flag, but if we only bounced, let's say if we bounce below this 330 and can't get over 330 and then drop, that's a confirmed bear flag if we break today's low. So we'll see if Microsoft can negate that by bouncing above 330.6 level to negate that daily bear flag and potentially come back up to the high of this 335 zone. Why not? All right, let's take a look at Meta. Okay, so still in this megaphone chop zone. Very clear resistance. I think we rejected here for like 7 times. Have this uptrending and looking resistance and support down here, bounce off of it 5 times. But now we're just trading in the medium of the 2. And we have the hourly uptrend confirmed over here by finally breaking above 303 again. This is 303 is a pretty, and 303 between 298 is a super key battle zone for bulls and bears. They've just been battling around this zone for a very long time. So when it breaks above it, you can see we got some bull volume coming in, and it's a good sign. Close at the high of its day around 305. So it'll be a good chance that we test this 310. 310 is not the megaphone resistance, but another resistance from all-time highs. Sorry, not all-time high, 50-week high back here. So yeah, that's the next level I'll be looking at tomorrow for Meta, this 310, which coincide with the sideways 310. So it's going to be a strong level of resistance. If we do break above that, then we're back looking at the megaphone top, which is this one. Still got a ways to go before that happens. So we'll take a look at 310 first before it hits the top of the megaphone again. Yep. All right, so that's what I got for you guys. And if you look at the natural gas video that I just did on commodities, I did gold, silver, and the US dollar. As well as if you guys learn anything, feel free to subscribe and like and share. They're always appreciated. And I will see you guys tomorrow for more updates after the FOMC meeting. And if you guys like to join in the membership channel, just click join below. I do videos on every Sunday for that. And yeah, have a great rest of you guys' day.